Yeah. Yeah. Shit. Grams leaders CC's, pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of leaders of grams, get your dose up, cut this up, post up, and get dosed up. This for them voted like the movement, make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk they can't relate. I got to elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb, and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in them trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that truth serum hooked directly to your vein. Hey, this is for my people, tune in, catch it closer. Closer, closer, a closer. Grams of it, tune in, catch it closer. Pounds of it. Pounds of it, yeah, grams of it, liters up, pounds, get your dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, get dosed up.
What's up, everybody? Monday, 8 o'clock as usual.
That's
we
right.
got Sharpshooting Dose, and we got my man Lab up in here.
What's going on, brother?
All right, man.
Another Monday.
Another Monday, you know what I'm saying? So we had to make it through that weekend.
Right. How was your weekend?
My weekend was kind of like just a grind weekend. I ain't do very much but clock in them 2 days, meditate when I was off, you know what I'm saying, get my ideas ready to speak to my folks tonight,
Okay.
and, you know, jot a little music down.
Okay. So
How was your weekend?
We busy. You know, we had shows Sunday, three shows on Sunday. Waited for the garage door man all day Saturday. He never showed up.
Okay.
But we finally got that repaired. But other than that, just grinding this thing out called podcasting, you know, radio and podcast. That's all we gonna do. We're gonna keep going until we make it successful. So yeah, that's it.
Now, it's funny that you said waiting all day for the repairman, because that all day, man, I hate it when companies give you that broad-ass window.
Right.
Sometimes Terminex might have to slide through, and they'll be like, we'll be there somewhere between 9 in the morning and 4 p.m.
Right.
And I'm like, well, damn, just take my whole day from me. I mean, how you know I ain't had something I wanted to do? You know, about 9 to 4. I mean, that's basically like work hours.
And you know what? That goes to show you that the customer service part of the business is out of the window, because you generally don't want somebody waiting around for you all day. Remember back in the day?
No.
When, I don't know if you remember this, but back in the day when the cable man came, they gave you a turn. We'll be there at 3.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We'll be there at 3. We're open. We got an appointment at 1:30. We can get to you. We could be there about 3:30. It wasn't this broad 8-hour window of how long it was gonna be before they got to you.
Man, I think sometimes it's so that they can get the most in before they get to you.
Yeah. And then depending on where you're located, they try to get themselves time for something to break down, something not to go right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, me being the kind of person I am, who when I pay for stuff, the kind of customer I am, if you tell me 3:30, I'm gonna be expecting you at 3:30. And if you come pulling up at 3:45, where's my discount?
Well, see, you know, I'm more of I understand you get a little grace period. So if they say 3:30, I'm expecting maybe 3:45, even 4 possibly.
Right.
But to be waiting on you from 9 in the morning, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be like, man, we'll show up between, you know, we'll be there around that time. So that means I can go somewhere and then just come back.
Right.
But
Yeah, we waited all day, but hey.
yeah, exactly.
We did get a discount though, since it never showed up on Saturday.
Okay.
So I'm good. I'm
Cool,
happy
cool,
with that.
cool.
I'm happy with that. So what's on your mind today?
Well, first of all, we have entered another month. You know what I'm saying? And this particular month right here is National Women's Month.
National Women's Month.
So,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
of course, I love
Celebrating
the
women this
women.
month.
Exactly. So I have someone that I actually wanted to acknowledge this Monday. You know what I'm saying? This young lady's name is Misty Copeland.
Okay.
She was born September 10th, 1982. September 8th, that's my month.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Actually, 2 days after me. You know what I'm saying? Okay, she is actually a ballet dancer for the American Ballet Theater.
Okay.
She started ballet at 13 years old, and in 1997 won the Los Angeles Music Center Spotlight Award as the best dancer in Southern California. Now, some of these accomplishments are going to start getting very interesting and better as I go on.
Okay.
Because in 2015, she was named as one of the top 100 most influential people in the world by Time Magazine.
Okay.
She also performed on Broadway in On the Town. That was the name of the show that she did on the Broadway, On the Town.
Okay.
And here's something that I found was very interesting. She toured as a feature dancer with Prince. Exactly.
Okay.
Prince.
And what was her name again?
Misty Copeland.
Yeah. Okay.
She's been on So You Think You Can Dance.
Uh-huh.
And a couple of promoters or promotions. She has T-Mobile, Coach. She's done a Dr. Pepper commercial, Under Armour, and Danner Yoga Company.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. It's her main form is dance.
Yeah, is ballet.
Ballet. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's the main. That's the breadwinner. That's what
Okay.
she's known for, and that's what she does.
Okay.
ballet.
Cool.
So Misty Copeland, guys.
Do you think she gets the proper wages and compensation for what she does?
Of course she would. Definitely, if you made it to a feature on Broadway, you dancing with Prince, you know. Yeah, and you getting T-Mobile, Coach, and Dr. Pepper sponsors and money. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so speaking of wages, that's kind of what the topic is going to be about today. Work and wages and basically compensation, you know. One of the things I would ask certain people is like, or ask myself sometimes, is like, how long do you even plan to work? What I noticed with the younger generation, you know, I don't think they're gonna be retiring in a certain spot like by working 40 years in one place. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They pretty much have mastered the art of learning something or learning the vital, you know, skills at a particular position and can move on or transfer to another facility and try to up their wages.
Carry those skills with them somewhere else.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing. Why do we work is another big reason as to actually what we're working for. I know I'm working because I don't really want to ask anyone for anything. I want my own independence. You know, there is a particular financial stability that comes with it. You know, it actually makes me a better person to a degree as far as having responsibility. Now, I will say I don't really want to work forever. I will prefer to be working for myself, which is what I'm doing now. You know, definitely promote entrepreneurship.
Okay.
But there are some people out there that just get up, punch a clock, and don't know why they're doing it. You know, they just
Yeah. I mean, it's a mindless thing sometimes.
Exactly.
But I read an article recently that says that most people who are working currently will be working till they die. There is no form of retirement anymore. Like, you know, people retire, they save a certain amount of money in their 401k and everything. They're saying with the amount of the high price of everything, the inflation and stuff like that, most of us are going to be working until we die.
Well, I prefer to say grinding.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
just coming up with income rather than just working. That sounds like a death sentence.
Yeah,
But
in some cases it is, because like you just said, some people just gonna keep punching the clock.
Well, here's the thing. Of course, working per se, yeah, you're gonna always have to earn your keep.
Right.
But what happens when you're not physically able to, or you run out of options to gain that income?
Right.
Yeah, I think society kind of in businesses and companies are forcing us to, or backing us in a particular corner. One, because there's so many things that they get you to spend money in, or like invest in it, let's say for future endeavors, but will it actually pay out? All these different things that are added to us, like, you know, you got to pay for internet nowadays. The funny thing, all these different apps, you know, it used to be you could just go get your cable and you good. Now you can get Stars app. You can get, what's that, Peacock app.
HBO
you can get
app.
Netflix app. All these different things to buy. You can shop online. You can shop in person. So there's ways to spend your money 24/7.
Oh, they're
which
always
is going to
gonna throw
make you
ways
have to always earn it.
always in debt.
And not to mention one of the big things too, though, you're still gonna be eating when you get old. And food costs. If you want to travel, if you want to drive, if you need medication, all of that costs. And where are you gonna get the money from?
Right.
So,
Do you think that and Slick said the car you have is the car you have, no upgrades, stuff like that, you know. That was another thing, you know, people were saying cars, like how expensive cars were and
gas
and all those
mechanics.
things. And how they said the cost of a car is tripled and since 2020. Just the
Insurance.
maintenance cost, just to have a car, the cost of having a vehicle has tripled since 2020.
I mean, things now, necessities, and you know, it's not fun anymore because the inflation on it, like your cell phone bill can get sky high. That's not fun to have anymore. I mean, you just need it just to be using it. Like the cars, they break down. You end up spending so much on insurance, and then the person tells you, you know how them specific parts. If it's an alternator, you know, things like that. Then that break down, you pretty much got to buy a new car. People be telling me, man, it's gonna cost $3,000 or $4,000 to get the car fixed.
Right.
It's like shit. Put that down on another car.
But then the cost of another car. See that's what they were saying. They were saying, you know, people will get another car for a $3,000 repair, but they don't realize that the cost of the other car at 8-9% interest, and most cars nowadays are $40,000. Period. The basic cars now are $40,000. So you add a couple of bells and whistles, and you up to the $60,000-$70,000, and you paying $900 or $1,000 a month, $900 or $1,000 a month for a vehicle that typically you can't afford, but you need because you got to get to work to pay for the vehicle, to pay for the house, to pay for the car and food. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can try to get into the point where your car can be your business then, and try to write that off. If that's the case. But even Uber is expensive. Shit, Marta done got expensive. I mean, it just costs nowadays to exist. And most of the time, one job ain't gonna get it. But who wants to work 2 jobs, and 3 jobs? I see people clock out. Some people got 3 jobs. They might work 1 job on the weekend and 2 jobs during the week, and then they'll call another job. And I'm like, man, do you have a quality of life that you like that doesn't involve work when that happens?
Right.
Because I dedicate myself to work when I'm there.
Right.
So imagine dedicating myself to 3 different places.
Right.
Like, when do I dedicate myself to
myself? Right.
Or my family.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Or whatever I got going on.
A lot of times, I had that mentality when I was younger. You know, I felt like I needed to work 2 or 3 jobs, man, just to make these ends meet, just to make sure my family did not have to suffer in any way, shape, form, and fashion. But I realized that I was just throwing, you know, good money after bad, because I was having to go so many other places and do so many other things after work that I was spending the money I make traveling to the other job. I was spending the money I make at lunch at the other job, doing all these other things that really didn't benefit me anything, just to get maybe a couple of $3-4 extra $100 a week in my little paycheck. And a lot of times those things you don't look at those things when you're younger. You're just trying to make it happen, man. You're trying to figure this thing out as best you can. You get what I'm saying? So, man.
The youth can make it back, so they say. As you get older, you have less and less opportunities to make it back. Or, yeah, you might have the opportunity to make it back, but do you physically feel like you want to get up to make it back? Right. Sometimes I would always say, man, well, what does my body say versus what does my pocket say? Because I don't want to work myself to death and I can't enjoy the little money that I had. And you're right. It's like, man, this extra 8 hours I'm a knockout ain't gonna make me rich.
Right.
How about I just go enjoy something, have a life-altering moment, or enjoy something, spend some time with so-and-so or whatever, rather than just give it all the way to work.
Right. Slick said that when we talk about the insurance, that's why a lot of these insurance are popping up. One to fix your car, one to fix stuff in your house. Oh, yeah. You get what I'm saying? One to fix your transmission, one to fix you from bumper to bumper, extended warranties, all that stuff pops up and those are expensive.
And then insurance increase on you and you don't even have a say-so.
Right.
I'm like, I thought I got a chance to renew this. Y'all done put the fees on it and you already sent it out through the mail.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And you gotta always badger them. If you have, like, let's just say if you're one of those drivers where you don't get in any accidents and you don't have any infractions, they don't automatically deduct that.
Right.
You got to go start talking to them and be like, hey, man, I spent this amount of time, my 6 months to a year, whatever, however many time, not getting into any accidents, no infractions, no points taken off my license. Can you deduct it for me?
Nah, they ain't gonna. See, that's the thing with insurance. It's a scam to the highest degree, and the government's in on that scam because insurance can let you go for the littlest things, but you gotta have them. And then when they let you go, no matter what they let you go for, when you go to get other insurance, it's automatically higher because they've seen that another insurance has let you go. So insurance is a scam all in itself that we are definitely being fucked on with no Vaseline. And the government helps them push harder. It's like regular folks who work 9 to 5s, like Sexy, and Tanya says we just working to pay bills, man. Everything is so expensive. It's just like we just can't get a break anywhere we go.
And that's what is concerning to me, because with everybody and all these politicians yelling vote, 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 what are we really wanting and what we voting for? What we asking from these folks? Because I'm gonna get on the minimum wage, but first I'm just gonna still talk about the work aspect. Like, are you a valuable asset to your team at work? So, because a lot of people will sit up there and say they demand money, but are you even worth it?
Right.
What do your coworkers think about how you work? Sometimes it's really the truth.
But perspective is, everybody's perspective is different. You may think you're doing a great job. Like, I'm gonna give you a good example. I may think I'm doing a wonderful job. I may have 5 team members that think I'm just the best ever. But you, as the manager, and 2 of your folks that work with you may think I'm doing horrible. So that's a perspective that we all have. It's kind of relative as to who doing the best and what's the best part. Do you think you're an asset? We all think we're an asset.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Right.
Because they have methods in play to determine whether you're an asset, regardless of whether you say it or not.
Right.
We all know when we get them one-on-ones and them evaluations, right?
Right.
So everybody on your team, like, yeah, you good to go. You showing up, you getting all this overtime, man. You getting all these accolades, you getting these acknowledgments, but you don't get that raise because you don't get goes above and exceeds. You always getting that meets.
Right.
So I'm like, man, it's the word game. They don't really want to pay you.
Right.
And I'm like, what does it take for y'all to understand why you lose people, why you lose faith in workers, why workers want to up and quit on you? Because first of all, you already paying them less than what they worth. Then when they want a raise, that ain't even what they worth, and you won't even give them that.
Right.
So, man,
it makes it hard for us to feel. That's why there's no loyalty. That's why, like we talked about earlier, what's going on, Talk That Shit TV? We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. That's why what you were saying earlier, there's no loyalty to these companies anymore. Nobody has loyalty to the company that they work for because of the fact that they feel like the company can let them go at any moment. So why should I have loyalty to a company that I feel won't value me anyway?
Now, see, that's a tricky situation because I'm loyal by default. When I say I'm loyal by default, I'm always loyal to the universe for what the opportunity that the universe has provided in the guise of that particular company. So what I mean by that is I'm gonna get my ass up because I'm able to get up.
Right.
Now, and then I'm gonna hit that clock because if I tell you we already spoke about this. If we say 7:45, I'm supposed to be at 7:45.
Right.
So the job gonna get the same loyalty that anybody would get from me.
Right.
Because that's what makes me a person that is dependable, and that's what makes so people can believe in me or will help support me, or that's how I pretty much, you know what I'm saying, get ahead in life.
Right.
Now, I'm not gonna be a sucker when as far as loyalty is concerning, meaning like I know my value.
Right.
So the loyalty stops, meaning like the amount of work that you're gonna get for the amount of pay that you get. And at some point, I pump the brakes.
Right.
And it's respectfully and it's professionally, but you just gonna get this. You get what you pay for. You're already getting more.
Right.
So now I know I can bargain with it because I'm like, well, hey, you know, I'm already doing the job of 3 and 4 people. So today, you know, this might not get done, and I can tell you why.
Right.
But also, we ask for raises and we get evaluations, but there's the company that we work for. Do they even have success ladders that's easy for you to implement? Or are you just like jumping through hoops? You see what I'm saying? And you're not going to get an extra position, like levels to it.
Right.
Sometimes people want to work their way up to supervisor, work their way up to lead something, a lead tech, a 1, 2, 3 this, or get that letter behind the back of their name. Whatever it is that your job has, that is not necessarily a lateral move, but an upward move.
Right, upward mobility.
Do they have that? You see what I'm saying? Because that sometimes you can call that the eye on the prize. That may give you the determination and, you know what I'm saying, make you not want to quit or just give up hope because, hey, man, I'm going to be stuck at this wage or stuck at this position or stuck
Forever.
doing these. Exactly.
Right. I think a lot of people don't, I'm going to tell you, when we take jobs, most of us, when we take jobs and positions, it's because we have a need for it. A lot of us don't work because we want to. A lot of us work because we have to.
Exactly.
And that having to will let us accept a lot of things that we necessarily wouldn't accept if we didn't have to. You get what I'm saying? So upward mobility is something that we think all companies have until we get in their company and realize that not only do they not only have upward mobility, that you also have relatives that you have to contend with getting the job before you. I'm gonna give you a good example. Not even relatives, but when I worked at the railroad, you know, my thing was to be an engineer on the train. But it was so many people ahead of me that's been there 25, 35, 20 years that hasn't become an engineer. That to me, when I looked at that said to me, I'll never be one. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you got thousands of people above me, ahead of me, that's been there 20 and 30 years that ain't one yet. And here I come at year 5, still got I looked at that aspect of thing and I said, no, this is not where I want to be because I don't want to be stuck doing this for another 30 years until I could become an engineer. So I had to find another place and move forward with something else. I tried it. I did railroad for 5-6 years. I was like, okay, great. I got that under my belt. Now it's time to move on because I understand what these Gen Zs and all these younger people are saying. Like, I'm not going to be here forever if I don't see any way out or see any way up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And you don't know that until you start the job a lot of times.
See, that's the key word. I had to understand the difference between a job and a career.
Right.
You can blend them in and not know the difference. Like, to me, what established it for me was I figured a job was just something that anybody off the street can kind of go get, or you had a bigger pool, meaning like I don't necessarily have to go get any certification. I don't have to get any licensing to go work at a Kroger as far as maybe a courtesy clerk.
Right.
I'm not demeaning anyone that does that because I've done that job before.
Right.
But what I'm saying is if that's what I wanted to go do, it would be a lot more people that's capable to apply for that than it is the job that I have now. So it's like I weeding people out, you can also kind of make more money.
Right.
But one thing actually that kind of helped steer me towards getting this job, this career, was the fact that I had a job, and once I got laid off of that job and my daughter was born, I had to understand what skills or qualities and qualifications did I have to merit myself wanting those 60,000 and up jobs, 70,000. Like, what do I have? How am I an asset to attract that?
Right.
One of the things that I was looking at is, okay, how long will it take for me to go get the training? Am I going to go to a college, a 4-year, 8-year? Am I going to invest 12 years in it? How much time do I have to invest on the fly to try to make a career?
Right.
So I took a route where it only took me like 18 months. And boom, now I can build off of that still if I wanted to. Once you get in certain type of fields, like a medical field, it's a vast range of things you can go. You can start out as a pharmacy technician and end up being somewhere in radiology. You can end up being physical therapist or something. It's just what you choose to do when you get in that field.
Right.
I finally figured out once I got the credentials to get to where I was at. actually like what I do. But I'm beginning to see no matter what you do, damn near in any kind of career or job field, you're gonna get lowball and underpaid.
Always.
You know, you're gonna be overworked. You're gonna be in situations where there's inadequate staffing. You're gonna be in situations, and I'm starting to see a lot of this. I'm talking about all across the board, different companies. It ain't even got to do with healthcare. Inadequate staffing versus the workflow that they give you, and you having to do other people's jobs, but you don't get compensated for it.
Well, that's called being a team player. That's
but
the
you
wording
don't
we
get
talked about earlier.
paid for being that team player like that. Like, I mean, two different jobs are two different jobs. That's why you hired somebody for that position.
Right.
That's why they get a separate paycheck.
But you still being a team player until they fill that position. And what we talked about earlier, as soon as you start complaining,
Yes.
you're going to put that target on your back as not being a team player and a complainer. So now when you go to HR and say, man, I'm doing two jobs. I'm doing two jobs for...
They're going to say you're supposed to.
Right. Or not even that. They're going to say, well, you know, work it out. They're going to give you some diplomatic response. But at the same time, they marking in your folder... problem
exactly.
child.
You done highlighted, bold
Right.
yourself. You wrote your
Right.
name on the wall. That's exactly what you did.
Right,
But see,
right.
the funny thing is now, if you went up there to that HR person, right, and you were like, hey, I'm here because I'm doing 2 and 3 jobs, right? But if you ask that HR person, hey, you want to go downstairs and drop these fries because the cook ain't here today,
Right.
and we need you to be a team player.
That's not my job. That's not what I get paid to do. You know what I'm saying? It's always different.
It's
From the perspective of the person you're talking to, and from the perspective of the person you're complaining to about the job, it's per se. You know
This
what I'm
show
saying?
is called Dosed Up because I give folks you get your own medication around here.
You get a double dose of this.
You get a dose of what you dishing out, man.
Double
I'm
dose
like,
of
damn,
Pepsi.
y'all like the same people that would make you do two people's job won't do two people's job.
Right.
Then, I'm just gonna get on this because I was gonna save it for a little bit later, but if you literally go through your ethics and policies and you do them proper and you go through the proper channels, that's the quickest way to get your ass fired.
Right.
But you think it's the quickest way to get you protected. Nope.
No.
It's
no,
like, man,
no.
why is it that you cannot trust HR?
Well,
But you got but you got to go through. I've literally had to go and do some what they call them modules, ethic modules, compliance modules.
right.
Telling you exactly what HR do. Do you respect HR?
Right.
But HR will fire you when you show them exactly what the ethics modules are telling you to do.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, the HR, they have their purposes, but it's not what they're masked to be. They're not necessarily there all for the employee. You got to think about what HR is. HR is human resources for what the company that you work for. That means all of the aspect of human.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they
Complaining.
resources for the management too.
Right. So so when you do certain things or you say certain things and people complain about you, they're gonna make little marks in the book. All HR is, as soon as you start working at a company, HR is compiling reasons to get rid of you.
Okay.
And people have to look at HR like that. When I walk through this door, I take this job, and I walk through this door, and I start doing this job that you're paying me for.
Yep.
I have to realize that HR has started their terminating file.
Exactly, man. I mean, I see that. It's kind of like when them teachers be like, you got this A, you got to keep this A. When you first start out, you know what I'm saying? And they just basically waiting. You know, everything you do from then on just subtracts from it.
Right, exactly.
But my thing is this. Okay, so this is another thing that you can experience in HR and you can experience at work. And, okay, so when you start becoming older than your supervisors and older than HR, and you know they selling you some bullshit,
Some wolf tickets.
just simply because you old enough to know and you done been in the working environment long enough to know better, you got to sit back and try to handle all of this. Meanwhile, the youngsters and the young friends skating along doing nothing, messing up everything, having all the rules be changed for them
Right.
so they can leave in 2 months, and you stuck with this new workflow that they keep creating every time they want to. It's just
I think a lot of times when you get older in a job, in a position, you start realizing that your options are dwindling away. You know, older you get, you know, people say they want experience, but a lot of these companies don't want experience. Why should I pay you those $45 an hour to do a job because you got experience when I could pay this guy, this 20-year-old, $15 or $20 an hour to do the same job and just teach him a couple of two things because I know he's not gonna be around long enough, but he's gonna do enough to get me by.
Here's the thing with that. With that revolving door, you are basically stressing the folks that actually might want to work for you till retirement. You're going to stress them in an early grave, first of all, because they ain't going to be, their head going to fly when they see that you just letting these young folks get away with all this shit. Then they going to be like, damn, how long does it take to even get any money? Because now I got to do a young boy a job that you know, and it's like.
Then I can tell you what they're going to say. You are more than welcome to find another job.
Actually, sometimes they don't really say that.
They don't?
No, man. They try to butter you up a little bit more, man, because they obviously know. They know when they have an asset.
That's very rarely, though. That's very rare.
But what it is,
do you really think companies see employees? I mean, I'm asking I'm asking a real question here. Do you think that companies really see their employees, no matter how, as assets? Do you really think that, or
it depends on?
Or do you think they think that they're expendable?
You're always expendable.
Right.
But it depends on who you are and the communication that you have with the people that's above you. Like, I go into work now and I understand like this. Okay, yeah, you may be so-and-so management. I'm a grown-ass man and I'm probably older than you or I'm your age.
Right.
So the management I'm respecting.
Right.
But if you don't look at me and treat me as the elder or the man that I am, then shit gonna fly out the door. Because it's like, first of all, man, ain't nobody finna sit up here and keep dealing with years and years and years and years and years of bullshit.
Right.
From folks, and you know you got this young person that's just running your ass up the wall, and you're not gonna come down on me. I'm seniority, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna respect me and let me be, because you don't have to check after me. You don't have to, you know. Only thing you got to do is make sure I dot my I's and cross my T's when it comes to the responsibility that I have that will affect you and others or that top management see. Other than that, I don't even hardly exist to them.
Well, you are a lot more optimistic than I am, because I believe that a company believes that all their employees are expendable.
Yeah, we
period.
all are. Yeah.
Like, they're all expendable, and as far as being a person that may have, I don't think they see any employee as an asset. No matter how many. Now, don't get me wrong. You may have great skills in the job that you're doing, and you may know it back and front. But when it comes to that bottom line, when it comes to making more money or losing money, everybody can get it. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's just the way it goes with companies.
So, let me explain to you what a valuable asset to them is. Okay. Which person would you rather have? The person that and you're in a life-saving environment now.
Right.
The person that comes every day on time, or the person that calls out every 4 or 5 days? Who's more valuable to you as a company?
Now, don't give me the guy who comes in every day.
All right.
At that particular moment.
Oh, but okay.
Let me give you
suppose this moment
a caveat.
Okay.
At that particular moment, he is valuable to me. Don't get me wrong. But as soon as he's not valuable to me, wherever I see wherever I see that it's not, the value doesn't help me, he can get it.
So let me tell you this right here. First of all, I should have started out with this. Don't no job and no man and nothing on earth determine my worth and what I'm valuable.
Right.
So I'm always invaluable no matter where I step up and where I'm at and what I do. So with that being said, if I minus myself from that equation, they're going to feel it and I don't give a fuck.
Right.
And then you know they're going to feel it.
Right.
I know they're going to feel it. First of all, I can tell because I can see what gets done when I'm not there, and I can see what gets done when I'm there.
Right.
I can see how messed up some shit look for damn near a year, and I can see how cleared out it look within less than 3 months when somebody's there.
Right.
So whether they want to play the shenanigans, whether you worth something or not, cool. That's on them.
Right.
Because I know what I'm worth, and I'm going to take what I'm worth everywhere that I go, and I'm gonna get me with that.
Right, right. I get what you're saying, and we all feel the same way. We all feel the same way about our aspect as a valuable person and employee, and our worth as that person. But we are talking about really, when you think about companies, they are inanimate objects. Their main goal is to make money for their investors and the person who owns the company.
Okay.
Like David, like that man David says, there are no bosses, only team members. You get what I'm saying? And I believe that is very true. That's why I say that a lot of these companies don't feel like their employees are assets. They feel like that everybody can get it. When it's time for that bottom line to be lifted up, you're gonna go first, because we are on the expense side. We're not income.
So all that is the blame game, right? So you tell me this. Let's say I'm working for a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the person that's working this job before me decides to move on and quit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I decide to take his job. And let's say I'm doing the same thing he doing, but I end up saving that company, let's say about $100,000 a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they would think that I was more valuable than that person that just left if I'm saving them that amount of money?
Of course, at that particular time.
Would they want me to leave without teaching maybe my predecessor what I know to save them money, or would they want me to take my saving money ass on somewhere and never show the next person?
Okay.
So they can keep losing that $100,000 that I saved.
Oh, they don't give a fuck if you leave or not, because they're gonna get somebody else to slide in your position.
But if person don't know what I know,
it does not matter.
Oh, okay,
because you didn't know when you came. It does not matter. Let me tell you something about. Let me tell you about the corporate structure. I know you know without playing devil's advocate, because you're a lot more optimistic about this conversation than I thought you would be. Companies don't give two shits about how much money you save them. You saved them $100,000 today. Fuck you. What you gonna do for me tomorrow is the question. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
you saved me $100,000 yesterday. We talking about today. What are you gonna do for me today? If you're not saving me $200,000 a day, it's fuck you. You can get it. You get what I'm saying? You know it's true.
See, I want to say this, but some things I can't tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? About how I really get mine from companies.
Right. No, you can't say that.
I want to go into work tomorrow. But let's just say, for the previous jobs I've had,
right,
I got mine.
We all gonna get ours eventually.
I was more valuable than what they knew, because what they didn't know was what I was doing to get over.
That man.
So all I'm gonna say is, yeah, I know that. I trust me. I know I'm numbers, man. But they didn't call me like a Robin Hood for nothing, bro.
Right. I
like,
feel
when
you.
You want to run that game on me, then I'm gonna run your ass in the ground till you find out what I'm doing.
Right.
So
and that's what you should do. You got to get you because they gonna get them milk.
But see, I'm not trying to get my listeners to go that route. I want my listeners to do this the right way. I don't want my listeners to be like me and have a line.
Well, you didn't tell them what it was.
You
didn't tell them what it was.
Don't
tell them what it was.
That man, it was damn near every job I had, man. You see what I'm saying?
Don't tell them what that.
I'm going to benefit.
We're moving forward.
Thank you. All right, so let's just talk about, does your job give promotions? And with that being said, how often do they give promotions? And maybe damn near how hard you gotta work to get them.
And that man David said, I'm glad you said it. He said it's almost impossible for entry level to reach the top. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, unless it's who you know. And if you don't have very much competition, then it depends on what the top is, what you're trying to go to. But yeah, well, I will say this though, because it's always about perspective. What you say his name is David?
Yeah, that man Dave.
That man Dave, it's always about perspective. Yeah, you can sometimes reach the top in the entry level. It just depends on how much experience you have and what you asking for and what you know. It's all about what you say, trigger words. I once helped a dude, let's just say, get an IV job, a position doing intravenous, and he never ever did a IV bag at all before he got the job.
Right.
Which would get me to the next thing. Do you lie on your application, or do you tell the truth? See, your mouthpiece can get you sometimes where your skills can't, but you gotta hope that them skills don't show. Also, another way to get you to the top from an entry position or entry level position is shoot for the stars when you come in. Ask for that job that maybe don't nobody want, you know what I'm saying, that is particularly above higher than others. Like I asked for the IV position job, which nobody wanted to do, which was a little bit better than just coming in, you know what I'm saying, filling up the machines. When you do that, they already see you got some ambition in you.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to let you loose on some things.
Slick say you lie on that application.
Now, see, I don't lie because, well, you know,
I mean,
nowadays,
you do. Let me put you do not lie, but you what they called it.
stretch it.
Yeah, you
Man, maybe exaggerate like
yeah,
a dog,
yeah.
beefing it up
Well,
and
hey,
everything.
you might have changed tires, but when you
Yeah.
put on the application, you was a technical tire engineer.
Oh, yeah, you're a tire engineer.
You're right,
You
right.
owned the tire company for
Right.
3 years and things like that.
You're right.
Well, my whole thing is that eventually, what I've learned with the way these new folks go, the reason why they lie is because you're gonna automatically get trained by that system when you get in there.
Right.
But speaking of being trained, do you feel like you're adequately trained, and do they train you long enough? Because now I wasn't trained long enough, but I'm a survivor. I'm a hustler, so I mean, you can give me some crumbs, and I'm gonna make that loaf out that thing. But
No, they don't train you. They don't
Mm-hmm.
train you like they used to nowadays.
No, they
What
don't.
we say, they give you a module and give you a week to take a look at that module, then they throw you into the
and
wolves.
grade you on them modules.
Right.
Thank goodness the modules let you try it over and over and over again.
Right.
I'm like, am I in college or did I apply for a job sometimes? Because I'm like, look, man, I already went to school for this, and sitting up under this computer is not really what I want to get
To
paid
do,
to do.
right.
I need to go ahead and get this work done. But,
Right.
But needless to say, you got your modules and your inspections and all these other things that I be having to do.
The training is lackluster.
It's lackluster as a motherfucker,
It's
man.
lackluster.
I knew more than the person training me.
That's generally how it
Person training me
goes.
shaking with the needle.
That's generally how it goes. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's
Because
like,
you know more because of the experiences. You know, I don't think companies value experience. Man, they might do now, but you know, experience make you be able to know how to put that in there a different kind of way. When you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna give you a good example. Slick, when she goes to the doctor, you know her veins are small and they roll. You can tell the difference between someone who has experiences doing that and
yeah.
someone who may have been to school, may know how to do it, but don't know how to do this particular thing. Because a nurse that's been doing it for 20 years go come in there and put that butterfly in there real quick, and you ain't gonna even know it's done. Versus the person who been doing it for 2 years or may just came out of college gonna come in there and gonna stick her 17 times. You get what I'm saying?
Well, what I've noticed in the workforce nowadays is they don't have a specific person or preceptor or a trainer. You train
that's
with
true.
multiple people, so you get multiple ways
points of views.
and you really what you see is multiple bare minimums, multiple ways people beating the fucking system.
Right.
And so now you got to add all these halfway trains up to try to be a whole.
Whole train.
And
You are correct.
All you do is you just learn people's bad habits.
That's
what
true.
not to do.
I agree with you 100% on that.
And-
Because you're trying to shuffle through all the crap that they didn't try to teach you. And you got six different people trying to teach you 6 different ways to
Yo.
do one thing.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. Like, I'm kind of old school. I like to learn. I like to read. Like, give me a
And then do it a little
manual.
bit.
So I can, and I can go back and refer to this. I don't want to have to log in every time, put in 3 passwords, log into this spot, log into that spot, and boom, my modules might download. When the module finally downloads, then it sends me somewhere else I got to click on to. I'm like, man, can I please just have a printout of this shit so I can have it with me at all times so I can refer to this.
Right.
And then, man, okay, so when you in the health field, man, I know everybody know about this. OSHA and JCO or whatever. When you get them JCO visits, you know they come every year. Why do you run people ragged like a chicken with their head cut off? Basically, to give you an idea of what it is, if you have company that's coming over, you got a party that you're getting ready to plan.
Right.
Are you going to wait the day before or the night before to clear out everything before you have your folks come through, set up everything and clean up everything? No, you wouldn't. You would give yourself more time.
Right.
So these people, these managers and everything, put all that stress on you at work just to make them look good.
Right.
When you get these inspections and things,
Right.
you don't get nothing extra for it but stress.
Right.
And you sit there and you look at it like, man, can we have more preparedness?
Yeah.
A lot of these jobs have, man, you know, the norm for them is working with the least amount of people that they possibly can have. I used to think a full staff is what you're shooting for. Man, they got option A, B through C.
Yeah.
They got it. If you're supposed to have 5 people on staff, they got a plan. If you got 4, they got a plan. If you got 3, 2, 1. If nobody damn near there. They got a plan almost.
Right.
I'm like, shit.
Right.
But
Right.
none of that plan is we gonna give these people what they're worth today.
Right. None of that plan is we gonna do this accurately and we're gonna work hard. We're gonna work smart, not hard, and we're gonna make sure our people are happy with what they're doing. That's never in the plan.
Well,
That's never part of the concept.
no, and some things that you experience, man, like I try to be fair because when you working, I've been told by management, man, like, oh, I'll accept 70% from that person because I'm getting 100 from you. And I was like, oh, hell no, you ain't. No, you ain't. Throwing a flag on the plate. You can't even add, bro. What you're getting is 130 from me because my 30 is making up for the one.
That was a good one right
yeah,
there.
he's 70. I'm 130, partner. So let me dial this back. If
said,
you paying him more,
no, you're not.
I want to get that 70% money then, cause you pay him 70%, buddy, more than me.
Yeah.
And like, you supposed to be getting what you pay for.
So you giving 130, he giving 70. You filling up his 30%.
Yeah, and then I'm like, look, man, I used to supervise before. I don't really pair weak links with strong links. Like,
Right.
if you got a strong team, and you see everybody bouncing off of people, you see the vibes good. Pair them people with each other.
Right.
Don't put the bad apple with the good ones and spoil everybody. Don't put that person that lollygag that don't
Right.
want to work. Don't schedule them with that person, man, because all you doing is you lowering the morale.
Yeah, you are infecting the bunch.
Exactly.
Because every time he come around, they go like, man,
Yeah, here he come. Here his
we can have this job done in 5 hours, but with him, we got 8 hours to
Here
go.
he go.
Right.
Yeah, and then I'm like, man, you got some people, if you literally just pressed on the gas real quick, you could damn near get 4 hours worth of chilling in because you just worked your ass off.
Right.
But everybody want to drag it on out.
Right.
Man, some people, I'm like, damn, bro, you worked 3 hours today. How you managed to get 5? What did you do for the other 5?
Right.
Because they be taking 45 minute to an hour and 30-minute lunch breaks. Three and 4 15-minute breaks.
Right.
Oh, this a new kind of break. You ain't seen the talking to the supervisor break, have you?
What the supervisor? Yeah,
Damn,
yeah.
you been talking to the supervisor for an hour.
That's
What
a good
was the
break right
conversation
there.
about? Shit,
That's a
get
good
me
break
in on it
right
next
there.
time. Because I
the
need some of that.
Supervisor in on it then.
Hey, man, the supervisor just be like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, really? Hey, man, you need to let that go.
Right.
I'm telling you. So it's like by the time you do the lollygagging and the socializing, ain't no work getting done.
That's true. That's true. That is very true. But a lot of times, people only do what they know they can get away with. So they've been doing that for a long time. They've been going there and taking supervisor breaks for a long time because the supervisor wants to talk to somebody. They want to feel like they friends with everybody. They don't want to feel like everybody doesn't like them. So they're gonna take what they can get. And if that person goes in there all the time and talk to them, they're gonna be like, oh, here comes Dose. He come to talk to me today.
Man.
And I can sit in there and talk to him for 45 minutes and get away with it because he is in on the
This
caper.
what Dose gonna do. Dose gonna be like, hey, well, you can come walk with me right quick. Hey, hold on to this, push this, do that.
Right.
We gonna talk and work at the same time.
Right.
Because what I'm not gonna do is let the work get bagged up on me. Because
Right.
I know I'm accountable for these things, man. Some of my work time sensitive. I gotta have these papers in by 2:30. I gotta do this and this and this and this. These folks gonna be expecting this by that time. So yeah, if you talking to me, we working at the same time, man. And I'm just one of them people, man. Why would I come to work? I got a million things I could be doing besides coming to work to fuck off, man. I'm here to get something done and be gone. I'm a professional. You gonna get the same kind of professionalism if I'm coming to the studio. You see what I'm saying? So work is work to me, and that's what you get.
Slick say that person keeping the supervisor up on the shit going on and who doing what. That's why he in office for 45 minutes.
Here we go with that at work, man.
Yeah.
Look, like, man, I have to tell
The
them.
snitch.
I have to let them know, like, I'm not with this title telling. I'm not with this kindergarten shit. I'm not with this snitching. Okay, so here we go. Management one time want to come to me about another black man, man. Hey, we heard. How do you think so and so work, right? How do I think so and so work? Let me tell you this right here. This is exactly what I told that grown ass man. Hey, that's a grown ass man. If you want to know how he worked, why don't you ask him? He ain't here right now, so I'm not finna speak on another man's work ethic when they not here to speak for themselves.
Right.
So I guess he got the point. Here we go. Fast forward. Another situation, man. So when you ask a person or when you speak to supervisors
Right.
about someone else, you could just be curious, like, hey, I just threw out there. Is that person gonna relieve me from break?
Right.
Next thing you know, I'm in the manager's office. I asked the supervisor first of all.
Right.
Now I'm in the manager's office because I'm talking about somebody, right? So, all right. I'm talking about somebody because I asked a standard policy procedure of who's going to relieve me on break.
Right.
We're dealing in medication, which means I don't want to go on break without knowing I have a relief so that somebody can do this job so that this person get this medication. But if I'm in here because I asked you that and you're a supervisor and you're a manager and we got to go all the way down the road about this, I'm not saying shit about nobody no more.
Right.
This is why you don't get people asking questions, folks. This is
Right.
why folks don't want to say nothing, because it don't do nothing but bounce right back to you. Now we got beef. Now let me
Right.
tell you the funny thing about all this dumb shit.
Right.
They literally told me about the person that I asked about, as if I didn't know anyway. They told me that person told on me and then emailed something about me. Now, the kind of person I am, I just went on ahead and did my work. But you, management, you literally just gave me the ammo to go back to the person that told on me.
Well,
We
that's-
could be fighting in there.
That's
But
how they
of
do
course
it.
I'm not,
Right.
because that's the quickest way to get up out the door.
Right.
But I'm like,
They
man,
might be trying to set you up to get you out.
Man,
No,
this
you
shit-
know how people don't realize that a lot of times supervisors and managers are so petty, so childlike. Just because they
That's-
got the title of supervisor and manager don't mean that they're any more
Man, look here.
more advanced than you. They might know somebody who got the gave that position. And some of them managers and supervisors that I've noticed are the most catty people you've ever met.
Yeah, they
Unprofessional as they can be. I mean, like, and I've worked at law firms where
Mm-hmm.
like the managers were so catty, so unprofessional. It was ridiculous.
Man.
You find that to be the case when
I-
managers are
I
like
came
that.
through the door telling management this. My job is that you don't have to. You ain't supposed to have to wonder where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to wonder if I'm doing my job. It's gonna speak for itself.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna have to worry about if I'm coming in or not. You're not gonna have to call somebody to come in because
Right.
I'm always calling out.
Right.
Like, be honest with you, I'm an adult. I mean, you hiring me to do a job. This is what work is, people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, I don't understand nothing else but hit it and do what I'm supposed to do and go home. All the pettiness, all the everybody wanting to get in your social life, that's what I could do without. You know what I'm saying? Everybody trying to micromanage you, that's what I could do without. I don't need no advice on something I already know how to do.
Right.
If I don't know how to do something, I'm going to come ask you. If I want to go on break at a certain time, that's what I'm going to do. I don't need you telling me. You know what I'm saying? As far as coworkers, hey, you finna go on break?
Right.
Why you want to know if I'm going on break? If you ready to go on break, just tell me that.
Right.
Don't act, grown folk
you-
working here. Do what you got to do.
Do you think that the stress of a job or career is the reason why people want higher compensation and they want the minimum wage to go up?
Okay, well, funny that you said that. Now, first of all, hell no. Okay, minimum wage, that's a whole nother conversation in itself, which I'm finna touch on right now. How in the hell is $7.25, $10, whatever you want to call it, but the federal minimum wage right now is supposed to be $7.25. The state can change the minimum wage. They want to be gravy at the $7.25 too. But if you look at what everything costs, $7.25, you're gonna be poor, man. Straight up. And
25 is below the poverty line. Let me give you an example of what the minimum wage started at. When minimum wage started, the Minimum Wage Act, the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938.
38,
It
good
started in
lord.
1938. The minimum wage for that act was 25 cents an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
It went up a year later to 30 cents. 6 years after that, it went up to 40 cents.
Damn, 6 years.
Right. 5 years after that, it went up to 75 cents.
Okay.
6 years after that, 1956, it went up to $1.
So they stretching it. They stretching the length
Right.
of time. They basically breaking you. They
Right.
that's how you set the brackets. You know what I'm saying?
1961, it went up to 125. Now, in 1963, it went up 10 cents to 125.
There ain't no
Now, this is
generational wealth with none of
$1.25
this
an
shit.
hour.
I see. I'm hearing it.
Then they had an amendment in 1964 that took it back down to $1.15, $1.15.
Oh, they taking it down.
Right. And
How
then it
dare
went
you
back
go
up
down?
in 1965 with another amendment to $1.25 an hour.
So now you just said the keyword amendment. That's the laws fucking with us. Let's go.
Right. And then in now it's say $1.25 until 1967.
Uh-huh.
It was $1.40. 1968 it was $1.60.
That's too. Yeah.
It stayed $1.60 until 1974, which is almost 10 years.
Yeah.
It stayed $1.60 to 1974 when it became $2.
Okay. So you can go ahead and go on the timeline if you want, man. But
Right.
this shit sound ridiculous to me because $7.25 is ridiculous now. And this is what you have to start looking at when we start talking about politics, government, what we want to vote on, what we want to ask people. Okay, so if we got people that's on government assistance, let's say they were on food stamps, EBT, and all of this, you want to be on Section 8 and all of this. If you are working, let's say for minimum wage, why the hell wouldn't the government give you more money per wage rather than just have us being on some type of assistance? Like, my thing is pay people more. We might not necessarily have to have this assistance. And what are you basing the fair labor off of? What the hell is fair about $7.25 in 2024?
That's what the companies tell them they could pay.
Man,
You
look
know,
at here, man.
that's what the companies
Ain't noth-
tell
man, okay.
that they can pay to make profit, pay their employees, and be profitable as a company.
Man,
That's why-
do they understand how much food costs, how much gas
They don't
costs,
care. This is
how
what we're
much
talking
rent
about.
is, how much mortgage is? $7.25, bruh. Like I say, $20 ain't even. You need more than 20 for minimum wage.
They don't
That's
care
what you
about
need to
that
be
part.
starting at and up, 25 and up, basically.
You remember when they were going up that $15, and then they get us fighting against
See,
each other because
and
we so
exactly.
stupid.
That's
They
a
get-
distraction.
Right? Remember
That's
how
a
they
fucked up strategy.
went up? They get up that they wanted to go up to that $15,
Yeah.
and they kept saying, "Well, if we go up to $15, all the companies gonna close, and they gonna start
Man,
firing
look here.
employees."
Them
And-
companies need to close. Don't y'all fall for that banana in the tailpipe. $15, man, you ain't making it off of that either.
Right.
Like, what kind of house you want with 15 an hour?
But-
What kind of car you gonna have? What kind of life you gonna have? What kind of health insurance? Anything with 15 an hour. Let alone we talking about 7.25, man.
Right.
15 an hour isn't even good. Maybe for a teenager.
Right.
Maybe that.
Maybe.
7.25 ain't good for no human.
Right.
Across the board. I don't care what country you in.
Right.
Definitely not America, man. Like, they need to stop that shit. And for folks that's wandering around here going out and voting, if that's not the first thing on your agenda, and if that's not what you running around talking about, man, I don't even want to hear nothing else.
Right.
Because you can't get nothing done in your life at 7.25. But maybe that's why they ain't talking about that, because them the people that ain't making that.
Right.
But still, you need to be fighting for our brothers and sisters that are making that, because I ain't making that, and I'm the one talking about this shit.
Right.
That shit still is offensive to me. You never know when you might lose your job and have to go get something else. Or I might want to go get a regular job, you know what I'm saying, as a side gig. Well, who the hell want to settle for $7.25?
Well, but you notice that they were saying that, but you notice that none of these companies closed. Now a lot of these companies are offering $13, $14, $15 an hour now, but you know none of these restaurants,
Man.
none of these McDonald's is closed now.
McDonald's got money. McDonald's got enough money for about another 70 to 100 some years, man.
Right.
Like that's generational wealth. They ain't gonna go break. They can set the market on what they want to do. They can pay you whatever the fuck they want to pay you, and all they gotta do is just, okay, man, maybe have less workers but pay more.
Right, but they don't see.
Encourage
That's
people
what we
to
talking
get
about.
into their stock.
We
Give
talking-
us some of their stock.
Right, we talk about politicians and voting. I just don't know why people don't realize that all this stuff that we fight each other over, all this back and forth bullshit, it's just a distraction, like you said. These people do not care about us. Politicians, all they care about is their pocket, and most of these companies and corporations are in their pockets, and they gonna make sure the politicians are gonna make sure that they can do what the corporations want them to do, while we sit back and fight about little petty ass shit that does not affect our everyday. You can't afford a pack of chicken because chicken is $25 a pack now.
So, okay, my thing is this. Well, once again, man, there's always power in numbers, and people are the numbers.
Right.
Man, you can own, you can take all this shit back, man, if you united. If everybody black woke up and said, oh, that's how y'all want to be, man, fuck a particular company, and that's it.
We can't even decide what politician we gonna vote for. How
Hey
we gonna
man,
do? How
you
we
shouldn't
gonna?
even be voting on no politician that ain't gonna do nothing for you. And like
Right.
I say, the politician only care about who donate, man.
Right.
Who gonna put that money in there? The sponsors, man. You see it. You see it on these TV shows. You see it in the news. You see it everywhere, man. Grease in the pockets, man.
My name show say America is a corporation. He is correct. America
Of course,
is
it's
the
a corporation, man. It's a corporation that rapes its resources,
Right.
natural resources.
There you go, and human resources.
And yet, exactly.
We just talked about
we
how
a resource.
how when you the reason why we don't the minimum wage is not raised because they want to keep you in debt to keep you working.
But check this out, man. Once again, like I keep telling people, you are the most valuable resource
There is.
on this planet.
Right.
Without you, this shit ain't gonna get done. They can try them robots if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Once the power gone, once the shit run out, who
Exactly.
gonna service the robot?
Right.
So you know what I'm saying. And robots ain't improvising. You know what I'm
That
saying.
cog
Where
in the
instinct at.
wheels.
That's just a program that you got to put the
Right.
program in the robot. But
How a robot gonna work when the robot goes down I'm just gonna give you an example. When the robot goes down the farm picking out cabbages out the ground and runs over an anthill, and then all the ants take over the robot and start eating up the wires and stuff within. Whereas we as people we know how to handle that problem.
First, man came before the machines. So
Right.
it is what it is. When we start tapping into this manpower of unification. I mean, you know,
We're
what
not
I'm
gonna
saying?
be unified.
Hey, that's
you gotta
the
stop
wealth-
talking. You gotta stop talking
Unification
like
is the
that.
most wealthiest thing we can do.
Yeah, you know
Like,
that's why they killed Fred Hampton, because he was trying to unify
Hey,
folks.
man,
You gotta stop talking
I'ma
about that.
keep saying unify. They can do whatever they want to do. I spell it out for if they
Right.
want to. Yeah, but still, the whole point is our dollar is valuable. Okay, so we don't necessarily need the highest spending power. We need to be having the highest generation power, generating the money, investing the money. I mean, with all these billionaires, you know what I'm saying, that we got a couple of black billionaires, we got black millionaires and things like that. Okay, so where their companies at?
Our GDP needs to be higher. We need our gross domestic product needs to be higher, which is mean that we need to import more than we need to export more than we import. We import just about everything now.
I mean, technically what we need to be doing is hollering at our brothers over there in Africa with the resources and try to get some currency made off the resources that we got.
Yeah, but you know they losing their resources too.
Yeah, they losing
They
to
got
China, man.
Right. That China has moved in and started taking their resources. I saw a video of a Chinese company that makes something, had all in Ethiopia, having all these folks lined up and militarizing them and yelling at them and all that other stuff. So the resources in Africa has been sold. I don't know how much is left, because to be honest with you, those foreign countries gonna come there, drain it up, take everything out of it, and leave it bone dry, and the people gonna be right back. Our people gonna be right back where they were.
It's a natural resource, so when you start trying to dry out natural resources, nature gonna take care of that at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Either bad or good, one way or the other. I always, what a friend of mine who always say, Mr. Hood always say, it's gonna happen either hard or soft.
Yeah.
Choose your poison.
But see, here's the thing, man. We sit back and we see this. We know the wage sucks. We know we not getting paid properly. We know we going to work with HR that won't stand for us. We don't even hardly have unions anymore, man.
Oh, they don't want no unions now.
I mean, so okay, but what union? Unity, unite. All it is just a group of people.
Right.
So
the only union that they respect is police unions. You know that, right?
Well,
they want to get rid of every union that they can. They want to get rid of every union that they can. They say the unions are not good, blah blah blah. But the only union that they do not mess with is police unions. I'm let y'all marinate on that for a second.
So here it is. Once again, okay. So damn, having a politician represent me. Let's create a particular group, party, or whatever, where we represent what we need, what we want. Then, if we want wages, why don't we have a party? And that's what they talk about. We're not talking about bullshit that don't even directly affect us in other countries that we ain't even gonna, you know what I'm saying, be able to solve anyway. Like, half this shit just a game, man. Nah, they ain't finna solve nothing overseas, because overseas can't solve it over there. So how they gonna solve it?
Right.
But yet we gonna keep dumping money into that, and you'll dump money in the Ukraine war, but won't raise the wages for these people over here.
Yeah, they say the
We got homeless people over here, but we spending all this money on bombs and shit we ain't using, or we plan to use to destroy people. It don't even make sense. Fuck a cop city. Build a homeless city.
They said that they can the United States government can end homelessness with $20 billion, and they gave $165 billion to Ukraine. So homelessness. I was a guy on Instagram who went down what they could have done with the money that they gave Ukraine for people in this country. You guys have to look it up. I don't know exactly the name of it, but it was so many things that could have been solved with just that money alone.
Yeah. Well, like I say, after just seeing what I've seen, man, and knowing what I know, like this is what I see with my own eyes. After seeing how much shit we throw away, food wise, medication wise, man, that's burning money. That's money spent on something that's not even used, that expired. You could at least get a drug away if you didn't give the money to the people that could use it. You see what I'm saying? We not even getting it on the board. None of across the board.
I'm gonna give y'all good food and throw it away. They won't keep y'all from coming to my store buying more. So you got to realize the thinking. If I give it away, you're not going to buy it.
Well, here's the thing. Damn that, man. But if you for humanity, that's who I'm for, man. Like, first of all, shit, we paying for certain things we could be growing. But we don't want to nail that down. Okay, so you mean to tell me you'll throw a tomato away before you'll give it to somebody homeless, or before you'll give it away, and we could grow the damn tomato anyway, and you charging me for the tomato? Like, really, man? Like, no, man.
You are exactly right. That is the thinking. You hit the nail on the head right there.
Well, my thinking ain't like that. And if it come across me, that's probably why I'm broke now. Because I'm finna give and fucking keep giving, man. Like, I can't make enough money because I keep giving it away.
Right.
I keep helping, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't take this with me.
Right.
So, I don't make enough at the job, but it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's where there will be a will, it's a way for me. But you can't have that mentality with a $7.25 an hour wage. You see what I'm saying? It's just, I don't even understand why people aren't speaking up about it. Like, and when you hear some people say, oh, well, I'm getting a $15 an hour job, I'm doing good, and it's like, you don't really want to seem like that type of person that's negative and be like, you sure you want to sign to that?
Right.
Because I was making that about 10 years ago and was complaining about that then. So, and for anyone, for the state and for the federal to jump on that bandwagon like, yeah, that's good, and you got to fight for that. Obviously, they don't even think it's good because you don't even got it yet. Like,
right.
Where the hell they at? Let's start holding these people. I don't want to know about my local politician no more. I want to know who's working for the Fair Labor and Standards Act.
Right.
I'm gonna start looking up these people. I want to know.
The list is gonna be very short. It's gonna be one.
Oh shit! Well, hey, find him or her.
It's gonna be one person who works for the Fair Labor and Standards Act.
Who is that person then? Damn it!
That's
Because we need to ask them, what are they basing this off of?
Right.
And why do you take so long? Why are you stretching this out? Like, are you intentionally keeping people in certain demographics and brackets?
Yes, they are. Class warfare is very serious. It's more than keeping them divided by race. If you keep them divided by class and income, that's even more serious. Why? Because if I'm looking down on you because of the income and the class you are in, and you're trying to get, I'm looking down on you, so I don't care about, that person. First thing they say is, well, they didn't work hard. They didn't work hard. They didn't do anything to get to where I am. So class warfare is very serious, just like racial warfare.
So here's the kicker, then. Okay, because I said, I promote entrepreneurship, but even that's becoming to kick people's ass nowadays with the taxes that they be having to file on that.
Right.
Or the insurance that you got to try to make certain jobs. Like, see, that's the funny thing. Certain jobs you ain't gonna be able to get because you don't have a certain amount of insurance, and that certain amount of insurance fucking costs. So now you stuck. You see what I'm saying? State sticking you. And when you do finally get that insurance, now you got all these different taxes that you got to pay, even if you try to go into business for yourself. So, at some point, You like, can I get a break?
Right.
Now, this is where I understand when people be talking politics, but I still be like, them politics, because it don't matter how many times you bring this up and talk to them about it, you ain't gonna get nowhere, because just like you said in the beginning, if you want to get somewhere with them, you gotta pay.
Right. That's true.
And while we arguing about $15 an hour,
Man, look here.
Jeff Bezos just became the richest man in the world at $200.3 billion.
Well, it costs to be the boss. That's all I can say.
And we arguing about $15 an
Man,
hour.
And he got $200 billion in his pocket.
Let's get this clear. I'm arguing for my people
Right.
about the 15.
I'm talking about we arguing with politicians
on
about
y'all
that.
behalf, because
Right.
technically, if we all got in on this, we wouldn't even have to argue, because we would just be like, man, ain't nobody going for this.
Right.
Well, you need to make it 25 and up
Right.
for a standard regular job.
Right.
Give people an opportunity to at least squander something. You can't squander 725. You can't squander no 15. You can't do nothing with that but be in the negative and try to be in the positive and
Right.
scrap to get up. You need damn near 4 to 5 jobs at 725 to try to make it.
Yeah.
So
If not
basically,
10
what you
jobs.
gonna do? Yeah, you gonna clock
After
in
taxes
and
and
clock
everything.
out. Then you gonna clock in another job.
And
Then you
clock
gonna
out.
clock in another job. Then one of your jobs need to be damn near traveling to the other job.
Lady Lion Love said Lady Lion Love too said she was making $15 in 1995.
Thank you. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? That shit don't fly. But if you were making that in '95, right? But the minimum wage is less than that now. How
Right.
somebody gonna survive?
Right. Living women wage $7.25 ain't went up and look. Let me tell you something. Between 1974 and now, which is 34 years, the minimum wage has went up $5.
Oh hell no, man. Oh no.
The minimum wage has went up
See,
$5 in 34
But
years.
see, now I'm gonna touch on this a little bit too. All right, but that might be that's definitely why these youngsters ain't buying into that like what our old generation used to do and work till they retire. Who wants to?
Right.
And I do, I agree with them on how they look at certain jobs, but like I said before, now, okay, young buck.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. The minimum wage has went up $5 an hour.
Man, look.
In 50 years. I said 34.
50
It's 50
years,
years.
man. God damn, that's $5 every 10 years. But $1 every 10 years.
Yeah.
Damn near.
In the last
Whoa.
50 years, it's went up $5.
Well, see, but then again, at your job, what they try to do, quarter you to death and shit.
Right.
I'm like, great, if I work 10 years, I might get, what, $2-3 out this bitch? Man, no. It ain't going out like that. Demand more for yourself.
Right.
But back to what I was going to say. Some pros and some cons to working a job till retirement. Might get some nice 401k. You're gonna build yourself up to Social Security. You better hope that the government don't go ape shit and not have Social Security though when you decide to do it. At least you're gonna have some good health insurance.
Right.
For you youngsters that don't want to put in no time, don't want to build no tension, don't want no tenure with no job, please figure out how you gonna pay for yourself when you get older. How you gonna buy your medication? How you gonna pay for these astronomical ass procedures if you have to have some procedures and go to the hospital? Cause that shit be in the tens of thousands, my guy. A car, you can buy a car damn near for a hip replacement, my guy. So when you young, just remember that, because
You are right, Lady Lila. I'm sorry. The minimum wage was $2.10 in 1983. She is right.
Damn, I wasn't even working back then. I was hustling back then. You know what I'm saying? Making more than that. Hey,
$2.90 in I'm sorry. Actually, it was $3.35
it was
83.
preposterous, man.
It was
like,
light,
and
little
that's
bitty,
why
little
people.
bitty.
That's why ain't nobody making no money.
Right.
When you work, you make money in a career. You ain't making shit with a job if that's what they paying you, and that's why half society ain't gonna have nothing if that's what they giving somebody.
Right.
And I mean, like I said, man, that shows what a government and a state thinks of the people.
Right.
If that's what they willing to pay the people.
Right.
Because they gonna tax your ass on everything you can get.
You
When
taxed from the dough to the flow.
man, on anything and everything.
We are the most taxed people on earth. Think about it. We get the check, we tax it before we get it. We go to the store, we're taxed. We come out the store, we're
Tax,
taxed.
tax,
We go to the
tax,
gas
tax.
station, we're taxed.
Tax.
We get our car fixed, we're taxed.
Tax.
We get clothes, we're taxed.
Taxed
we buy
on the
food,
tag.
we're taxed. We get taxed. We get taxed to drive the car.
Tax.
We get
Yep.
taxed to get the license. We get. I mean, think about
I'm
all the
getting
taxes
taxed
we
on
pay.
my fucking birthday, bro.
Right.
Like, what
Big-
the fuck, man? golly, that's all they give me, that little blue notice. Hey, remember though, bro, don't have to pay them taxes.
Right.
Gonna get that tag now. And then you get taxed on money, taxed on overtime. Like, can I get something for free?
Yeah, you get taxed.
If you get paid too much, you got to give it back.
Right.
Damn.
We are taxed out there. Leilani Love says she started hustling after she found out that minimum wage. She said that's why people ask her.
Yeah. I keep a
We
side
ask her
hustle.
where she from.
I ain't gonna never stop hustling. I'm
Right.
sorry, man. This just don't stop, man. You got to have multiple ways,
Multiple sources.
streams of income. You know what I'm saying? Residual
Right.
income too,
Right.
because you know, they already got you in a bind. If you gonna get paid every 2 weeks, some people get paid salary. Every week is cool. Every day, I like that. Damn, yeah. I like every day. But every 2 weeks, man,
Every
you can
2
go
weeks
broke
is a-
if you ain't careful.
Every 2 weeks is a hard bargain.
Yeah, because guess what, man? Everybody know how to hit you up. Okay, it's every 2 weeks, but you might have 6 things coming once a month.
Right.
So you got to get it all in which one of them checks?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, what they pay you is definitely important, man. And a lot of the times, the environment that work is creating for you ain't even worth what you make.
Yes. They say work overtime and until it takes you up to tax bracket, it's
Hey,
fucked
man.
up.
Yeah, that's what it's doing to me though.
Right.
And like I don't even know yet, bro. I already got less back this year because of that.
Oh wow.
And so it's steadily getting lower and lower and lower and lower, man.
And the benefit of working overtime doesn't even look promising anymore.
It look promising though, bro. I can't even lie. I can't even lie, man. Yeah, like $600 to $700 more than what you normally make is promising.
But I'm talking about at the end of the year though.
At the end of the year, man, you be about to cry. You just be about to be like, man,
That's what I meant.
I got robbed.
That's what I
man.
meant by not promising.
Yeah.
Then you get to the end of the year and
At
you
the end
like
of the year, you just be
they-
like 911.
They be like,
Yeah, it
give
went down.
Give it
today.
back.
Nah,
Give
I
it
just
back.
Be like, officer, he was wearing
Right.
H&R Block name tag, and them taxes hit my ass up at the
Right.
end of the year. Man,
Right. Stick him up, bitch. That's a hold up.
but, well, shit,
You worked how many hours? You worked 200
now,
hours
I'll
overtime.
say this, I might bail out on some bills now,
Right.
but I'm gonna pay them taxes.
I know, right?
I can't go to jail behind it, man. And I can't be out in this
That-
bitch homeless. They take your house and everything else,
Man,
man. So yeah, I'm paying them taxes.
That-
Child
that-
support and taxes with them two things. I don't give a damn. I'm paying that. I'll hustle to pay that.
Right.
I'll slang some rock to pay them taxes. I'm sorry. And I don't even do that. But they be like, man, hey, man.
Them
I
taxes is something else.
taxes is something serious,
The
man.
IRS is the
Turn it to a kingpin to
it's
pay
the-
them bitches.
It's the godfather of all. That's the most godfather's person there. I mean, federal agent there is.
Yeah, they get theirs. But
Racketeering.
yep. But you know, if there's one thing that I've learned from working, man, it is if you want to eat, shit, clock in. I guess. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, hey, like I say, don't nobody really want to do it. I'm just not getting to the point where I'm doing something that I kind of like to do. But even then, you have your limits.
Right.
Because people will take what you like to do and abuse you with that, run you in the ground, get more up out of you than what you intended on a daily basis. I can just say, man, don't bring negativity to work. Because if it's something,
Sometimes you don't bring it to work and they give it
It's
to you
already done.
when you get there. You know that, right?
that's why I said don't bring it to work.
Right.
Because it's probably something already there waiting
It's
on
gonna
you.
be waiting on you when you get there.
But I mean, if you got one of them atmospheres where you can listen to some music, man, do that. Because believe it or not, throughout them 8 hours, one of them songs gonna be your jam, and it's gonna be worth it.
It's gonna make you feel better.
Yeah, man. See if your work or if your job, man, has a day where you can just take it off for a mental health day.
Mental Health Day. That's becoming a big thing now.
Yeah, it is.
I
It is.
think
They starting to encourage
Slick's granddaughter started that Mental Health Day. But mental health days are becoming a big thing because people realize that, man, my mental health is a big thing, man. It's what it keeps people from what they call going postal, right?
Yeah, and try not to look at your job as you trapped, man. Like, there's always an option. Like you said, there's the door. But you got to understand behind that door is it another door that's going to immediately open, man, so that
Right.
you can open that door to your refrigerator and put some food in it, man. Or so that you can open that door and not see that eviction notice on it. Because we always like to say, man, man, what your job do and what it this and that, man. But if you can accomplish something with it, man, treat yourself. Pay yourself first with that money then. But like I say though, mainly I was really trying to nail that minimum wage down when we were saying wages versus compensation. And also if you do have a career, obviously you're not necessarily making minimum wage, but don't necessarily always fall for the low ball, man. Hold your head up high, man, and demand more. Even if you have to get some extra credentials to your name, even if you have to go train and do something different, man, do that, because you can take that with you to the next job. And when you exit with that, those are your weapons, man. You're arming yourself, with knowledge. You're arming yourself with an extra skill. So when you go to that next job, you can demand more. Each job that I left, if I spent the tenure there, I left with some skills and I left with that track record and that background to deserve and earn more. What I didn't understand was, where you going? Oh, they got mind games playing around. They're going to always lowball you.
Right, always. They're not going to always give you high. I had
why do they do that?
Lionel says, I'm a retired postal worker, and I used to say, leave your problems at the door and pick them back up when you leave. She said, I went to school for criminal justice, but I had a manager tell me one time, actually the president of the company, when he was doing my evaluation, he was, all through the year, he's like, you're doing a great job, you're the best. But when I came and got the evaluation, I was like, well, if I'm doing such a great job, why my evaluation don't show that? And you know what he said to me? He said, I'll never get perfects, because then you don't have nothing to aspire to.
Okay, so man, that's the wrong goal.
Right?
See, and then see, man, I've always had these instances, where when you have someone, if you have pettiness at the job and your evaluations are always great across the board, but you got to go and you got to talk to HR about something that's a pettiness, then you be bringing that up like, well, my evaluation, I ain't never had no problems. So why we going here with this?
Right, because it's a problem when you start complaining about the problems you didn't have.
I mean, man, but okay, the problem is the jobs don't ever want to resolve shit.
Right. And
the problem's gonna exist when you get there, and you got to like that problem. You got to eat that problem and sometimes solve that problem. I mean, I get it, but once again, man, if you compensate people, you'll get better reactions. You'll get less of a revolving door. There's a issue, and like we were talking about evaluations. Who gets to evaluate the management? Nobody. You get them surveys that they quote unquote say are anonymous, yet everybody can come and tell you that you didn't take them, or everybody can thank you for taking them. So how anonymous is it? Man, I ain't finna give no survey, because the survey gonna put a target on my back. I already know how it is. They're gonna be like, you think that of me? And I'm be like, well, I already told you anyway.
They say it's anonymous until it's not.
It's anonymous till you fire their ass up on that survey and they realize it's the truth.
Right. They always say it's anonymous till it's not anonymous. Then you wonder why the manager acted funny with you all of a sudden when y'all just had a good conversation the other day. Now 2 days later, he didn't cut you off the schedule a little bit or whatever they might do.
When you write at a job,
right?
When you start seeing the things that you said in the meetings, or when you pull them supervisors and managers aside, you start seeing it implemented, or you start seeing responsibilities change overnight. You be like, oh, wait a minute now, it didn't happen till I said something about it, but those sometimes can be eggshells you walking on. That means that you're being heard, right? That means that you're being watched.
True.
So it can go either way. You can be a threat, meaning so much that they can want to fire you. You can be an asset to the point where everything that you say is so right that you can get fired, because if you bring it up to HR, but who wants to walk that walk at work?
That's a whole different conversation, dealing with HR and the complaints that they have against you and the complaints you have against them.
Yep.
That's a whole podcast in itself.
This is what I will advise people now going into a career when you get to your versus work, wages, and compensation. Ask for something astronomical now. If I could replay this shit and go right back to my interview, I'd be like, man, you know what I'm saying? If I get about 150 an hour, I'd be great. Because y'all want you to scale it down so far that I could be like, this what you doing? But realistically, say something about like 45. So they can drop it to maybe 35, 38, or some shit.
Right.
But don't start out at 26. Because now, if they drop it, you could have possibly they probably could have offered you 28. You never know. Maybe 30.
Right.
But I know now, man, let's say if I want to settle for 35 an hour, I'm asking for 45. You just going to have to think I'm crazy. Because guess what? I think you crazy for giving me what you gave me. See, they don't feel like they crazy for lowballing you, so you shouldn't feel like you crazy for asking for too much. Because all they can say is no. What they going to do? And give you a counter offer. And when they counter offer, you say no. Or say, I'll think about that.
Right.
Or how long is this offer on the table? Because I have an offer that's at least $2 more. You think you can match it? You might not even have an offer. But just say that shit and get them $2 up out their ass. Start negotiating now, man. Damn all this. Because as we see, they'll 725 your ass to death, so.
And there you have it.
Yeah.
There you have it. All right, man. We've had a very good conversation.
I guess you see us next time. Same bad channel, same bad time. Dosed Up. Hosted by.
Hey, I do want to give a shout out though. I'm gonna call you Stan, man, cause I see your name on there. What up, Stan the man?
Stan the man.
Obviously
What's up?
Slick as can be. Bree Mitchell.
Mhm.
And then I think I see a Twyla on here, at least on mine.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I just wanted to say I appreciate y'all for tuning in, cause y'all could be doing something else besides listening to me, and I appreciate you.
Late
listening.
Line Love say tomorrow Super Bowl Tuesday. It's Super Tuesday. Vote.
Yeah,
Super Tuesday.
vote for some higher minimum wages, y'all.
Right.
Damn, the funny thing is minimum. Shit, what we need a maximum wage.
Right.
We start minimum, that's shooting low anyway.
Right.
We need a maximum wage.
All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out.
That's right.
Yeah. Grams leaders CC's, pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of liters of grams, get your dosed up, cut this up, post up, and get dosed up. This for them vote, they like to move and make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk they can't relate. I got to elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb, and blind. And I ain't hard to find.